When someone gets into self-development, they can end up having the need to be positive all the time. So it can be about having positive thoughts and feelings, only spending time around people that are positive, and not exposing themselves to any sources of information that are negative. And what can happen when someone goes down this path is that it can end up being an obsession. So instead of embracing their so-called negative side, they can try to live in a what could be classed as a one-season world. So it's all going to be about one side of the emotional spectrum. And naturally this is going to create a lot of resistance. So instead of being able to be with their so-called negative side, their darker side, they can end up doing everything they can to push it down. And what they can find is that although this may work, for a lot of the time there can be times when it doesn't work at all. And when this happens, they can end up going from one extreme, as if their head's in the clouds, to falling right down into the muck, and they could end up feeling depressed and really, really low. And this then brings up the following question. Why would someone want to be positive all the time? It can be said that it feels good to be positive. Why not? Why not? Life's too short to be negative. That could even be thrown in there too. However, it is through being able to feel negative and to experience the other side of the emotional spectrum that gives life meaning. If we always felt happy and joyful and wow, life is great all the time, then we would soon become numb and bored with this experience. So it's through having the other side that adds depth and meaning to life. So one reason why someone can have the need to be positive all the time is because they can't handle their emotions. So if they are not positive, they end up feeling overwhelmed with pain. So in this case, the need to be positive is simply another defense mechanism. It is something their mind utilizes to avoid the pain in their body. And because there is pain in their body, it is not going to be enough for them to remove. It's not going to be enough for them to remove all the negativity or to push it out the way, because it's in their body. It's not going to be, they can't think it away. This pain is going to need to be felt and to be worked through. And another thing that someone can believe if they have the need to be positive all the time is that if they do feel sad or angry or have a negative thought or feeling, or both, then they can end up bringing in more negativity into their life. And this is something they have probably picked up through reading about the law of attraction. So then it's going to be essential for them to be focused on one thing, because if not, all hell is going to come down on them. And one of the reasons why this can be the case is because perhaps when they were younger, if they ever showed a negative feeling or were not happy and didn't go along with what their caregivers wanted, they could have been in trouble. So through having these early experiences, the law of attraction can be very appealing to them. Perhaps they don't realise what's going on consciously, but deep down it will resonate with what feels safe, and that is always coming across as positive, because being Negative now might be seen as something that will bring in bad things. When they were younger, being negative was something that did bring in bad things. Perhaps they were harmed physically, perhaps they were neglected, so it wasn't safe for them to express another side of their nature, to be authentic, to be real, to listen to their feelings. So now they're an adult, covering it up and playing the same role again can feel safe. And the reason why someone can't handle their feelings as an adult, why they can't regulate them or don't feel safe enough to be with others and to reveal how they feel, can be because they were neglected and they were not given the guidance that they needed to learn how to regulate their feelings and to develop a healthy relationship with them. And through not being given the right care, they would have ended up then having to handle them for themselves, and this would have been overwhelming. And so with all this trauma in their body, they're going to need all these external ways of pushing things down, positive thinking, staying away from negativity, because they can't handle their own emotions and because they're carrying potentially a hell of a lot of trauma that needs to be worked through. So if you can see that you have the tendency to push your feelings down and to pretend that everything is okay and to use so much willpower just to keep your head above water, or your head above your emotions, then it may be a good idea for you to work with a therapist or a healer, or to find a support group, and that will allow you to work through your pain, so you can then develop the ability to regulate your emotions and to feel safe enough to reach out to others. And through doing this, you can be more authentic, embrace your true self, and you can realize that you are more than your emotions.